It's no secret that careers in AI, ML, and data science pay really well, if you can get one, and if you don't get laid off. In any competitive, volatile field, it's a good idea to have a couple of different ways you can leverage your skills to make money. Whether you're new to the field and struggling to get a full-time job, or you're already established and just want to kind of diversify it as a little bit of insurance, there are actually a lot of ways you can use your skills to earn some really significant cash on the side. And that's what this video is all about. I'll share 10 different ways that you can make money using your existing skills in the area, and as a bonus, how these side hustles can also teach you a ton and help you advance in your career. Until this year, I was really only focused on my full-time work in machine learning at Amazon and a little bit of mentoring work. When I started content creation in the fall, I learned about a bunch of other opportunities that I had no clue were even an option prior to that. I took a lot of inspiration from another content creator in this space while I was learning. His name is Igor, and he's a machine learning engineer at Deliveroo. I figured since he taught me so much, why not get his perspective directly? So we're working together on this video so you can get multiple viewpoints on how you can make the most of your skills. Let's get started with a super high-level introduction to each of the main side hustles. I got many of these from Igor's recent blog, which I'll link down below. First up is writing on platforms like Medium or Towards Data Science. This can be as simple as learning about a new concept, summarizing it in your own words, and posting it for others to learn. You could also document your personal experiences as a learner or in the field. When I started with this, it was really surprising how lucrative it is. Like literally a couple hundred to over $1,000 per article if it has high engagement, and the barrier to entry is really low. Next, newsletters. If you're already writing consistently, you can begin to turn that audience into a following for a newsletter you send out regularly on a variety of topics. This can be monetized through paid subscriptions or providing exclusive content with ads, sponsorships, and affiliate links, which is when you get a small commission if someone purchases a product you recommend. YouTube is a surprisingly natural progression for someone who's comfortable writing. Blogs can easily be restructured into scripts and vice versa. The barrier to entry is a lot higher though. If you've never done this, it's really easy to underestimate how much work it is to get started. That being said, there's a really high potential for income and network building. You can monetize with ads, sponsorships, and affiliate links just like with newsletters, but you can also build a better connection to your audience. And content can be anything you like. It could be technical overviews, vlogging your experience trying to enter the field, or just sharing advice. You definitely don't need to be an expert. If showing your face on the internet isn't your thing, another option is podcasts. You can cover technical topics, interview others in the field, or just share your personal experience. An option that can be completely separate from content creation, though it is easier if you have an existing audience, is selling digital products like courses, ebooks, and templates. You can create something once, and if you market it effectively, it can become close to a passive income stream for potentially years to come. With the help of AI coding assistants, many of us with ML skills are actually now able to build our own AI apps. I've built two myself, and while neither of them is exactly making me rich, there's always the potential for something to do really well and maybe even replace your full-time work. The key is just to use AI coding assistants safely. Check out my last video for some thoughts on that. Next, freelancing. This can be a super good option if you have the fundamental skills but lack employment experience, or if you're between jobs. You can work on projects on platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, or TopTal, which helps you learn, build real experience on your resume, and of course, pay the bills. For those who already have a bit of experience, mentoring others can be both fulfilling and educational. I've learned a ton helping others enter the field, and it's a really nice feeling when they succeed. Up next, participating in Kaggle competitions, driven data challenges, or other ML contests can be surprisingly lucrative. Top performers often win cash prizes ranging from hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars. Finally, for those who are really established in their careers, there's also a lot of opportunity in consulting, corporate training, or speaking events, and even things like being a fractional CTO. Since neither Igor nor myself has reached that point in our careers yet, we'll mostly focus on the other ones for this video. Okay, so knowing these options exist is one thing, but actually succeeding with them is another. So let's get Igor's perspective on the strategic side of this. So for someone just starting on their AI ML career, maybe with 0 to 2 years of experience, which of these options would you recommend they focus on first?
Before I answer the first question, I just want to say thank you, Marina, for having me on your channel. Your content's fantastic and I really enjoy watching it. So the first question is, how would you recommend to start, particularly if you're a beginner? So you're 0 to 2 years in your career while you're just learning, or you're a data scientist, machine learning engineer, but you're not like senior yet, you're kind of entry level. Now, the way I recommend most people start is that there's two main ways, right? The options Marina gave are very good to earn income, but some of them are more, you need to have an audience first to generate that income from those sources, right? So if you want to do mentoring, newsletters, digital products, all these things, you kind of need an audience beforehand. In my opinion, the best place to start if you want to generate traffic is by far blogging. It's the lowest lift it's the lowest lift one as a whole, because all you need is a laptop, you don't need anything else. It's kind of less scary for a lot of people because you're just blogging, you're not like talking on camera. And it's probably the best option if you want to document your learning, because blogs technically have more traffic long term than something like LinkedIn or Twitter, sorry. So for beginners, I recommend starting with a blog, Medium towards data science. There's so many platforms out there. Ideally, start a platform that pays you, and Medium towards data science will do that. So start on those types of platforms, and then you can take your Medium posts and basically make them into LinkedIn posts, Twitter threads, things like that. So you have one piece of content that distributes. If you do want to start on YouTube, YouTube to me is probably the best platform to grow an audience, in my opinion, as in you kind of connect to the creator on a more one-to-one level. It's more creative, it's more stable. It's kind of more of a well-known beast, if you want to call that. Just to summarize, if you're beginning of your career, I recommend starting on something that's audience generating. So that can be YouTube, blogging, or Medium towards data science, LinkedIn, Twitter. Probably starting with blogging first because it's the easiest to do, and you get like your juice is going, and then eventually you can transition to other platforms like YouTube or whatever you prefer. But start with something that builds an audience first. Don't overcomplicate it, just start with that process.
What about for someone who's more established, say 3+ years of experience, maybe senior level? Do the recommendations change?
No, I don't think so. Because yes, you have 3+ years experience in a field like machine learning or data science, but you haven't got any experience in content building or understanding how this internet, not marketing, but internet process works, right? So you almost have to start from scratch, like a whole job again, right? Even if you're a senior, staff, principal, again, unless you're really well known in the industry, then I still recommend starting with audience building platforms. I don't think your years of experience in the field really matters how you should start. The point is start building an audience first, no matter where you are in your career.
The one thing I would add here is once you have some experience, you're better positioned to use those skills to build things for others. So things like building your own apps and freelancing become more of an option for you. Though of course, like Igor said, it can still be a bit tricky to get your work in front of people if you don't have an audience. So in any case, you need to market your skills regardless of your technical skill level. What about expertise? Do you need to already be an expert before getting started?
You'll never know everything, so that stage of feeling ready to document and not be an expert yet is a complete myth. What you do, and this you must have heard this before, is that one, you have to document what you learn. So when I started blogging, I documented everything I was learning along my journey, like stats, Markov chains, Bayesian regression, just loads of things I was learning, and they weren't for anyone else apart from me. And if I made mistakes, I made mistakes, and people corrected me. Right? That's all it is. Your skill is just to do things and then speak about how you've done them. Don't pretend to be an expert, but just speak to your younger self, and no one can say no because you're speaking from your experience. There's the whole thing about being a guide, not a guru. So just guide people by saying, this is what I've done, this will work for me, and I'm sure it would work for you. But don't say this is the must way of doing things, because then you're being a guru. It's very unlikely you are a guru. So in a nutshell, if you're not an expert in anything, don't worry about it. Just think, what did I know 3 months ago? Or what didn't I know 3 months ago that I now know now? And just talk about that. Don't overcomplicate it.
I totally agree. I think this is even true for building projects that might turn into monetizable apps or products. Start as a beginner and learn and improve as you go. What about the time investment required for each of these? Which ones are more intensive upfront versus ongoing?
Yes, there is a time investment as well as a money investment. Something like YouTube is a bigger time investment because you've got to script a video. You then have to film the video, you then have to edit the video, do a thumbnail, upload it. There's a lot of steps in that process. And the way YouTube is at the moment, you can use a camera, so you can use your phone camera, but if you really want to kind of do well, whatever that means, but like at least have some substantial traction, you need proper equipment. Like I've got a mic here, you can't see it on screen here, but I've got a mic, probably cost me like £300. I've got a camera here, which was a Sony camera. It's not even that high end, but it was still like £500. So, it's expensive. Start with something simple. Like I said, start with a blog. It's probably the least time investment because you already have a laptop, you just write, use something like Grammarly or even ChatGPT if you want to check your grammar, even though I don't really recommend it. And then you can just upload your blogs. And it's very minimal. You can write a blog post. People overcomplicate this in about 2 hours. I don't spend longer than 5 hours writing a YouTube script, but even then I'm really trying to make it good. My early on blog post was just literally me like, all right, documenting my learnings. I'll just find an explanation behind, the binomial distribution, and I'll just write about it. I didn't really think about the quality. I was like, okay, I understand it, spend an hour or two writing about it, upload it. There we go. I don't overcomplicate it. I'm not trying to get viral. This is the point. So the time investment is a mix of platform and also just avoid being a perfectionist.
For someone who's feeling overwhelmed by all these options, what's your advice on just getting started? Should they pick one thing and go deep or try a few different things?
It is very easy to feel overwhelmed. And in fact, I've done things quite right in that I don't really overthink things. Like, now just do it, and then I hope the path reveals itself. The whole idea is that kind of what the question is asking, just start in one thing, and eventually the options will reveal themselves as you go along the journey. Don't overanalyze the beginning. My preference, like I said, is I recommend you start with something that's audience generating, so mainly blogging or YouTube or any video content. Medium is probably the easiest lift to start. So I recommend going down that route or towards data science, posting, wherever it may be, just blog on a platform that has some sort of audience already in there, and then just begin. But start on one platform, just one platform. Don't overcomplicate it. You can, of course, like I said, have scripts or like blog posts and then make this into LinkedIn posts. Again, don't try to grow on more than 2 platforms at the same time. I think 2 is the limit right at the beginning.
What are the biggest mistakes or traps you see people fall into when they're trying to start on these side hustles?
People tell me they're not ready to start or they need to do this before they start. Is absolute nonsense. What I've discovered in my life, my short 25 years on the planet, is that you always make excuses for things and you never feel ready. There's never going to be a perfect time. I know that's a cliche, but there never ever is. You're never going to feel ready. Perfect time doesn't exist. You're always going to feel scared to do something. That's exactly when you should start now, particularly at the beginning of your journey. You're not running a multi-million-dollar business. So just start doing things. Just start doing things and eventually things will work out. And what I'm saying by this is the biggest thing I see people struggle with side hustles is one, they don't start and they always wish they started earlier. Every single person who starts one wish they started earlier. So start now. It's not too saturated, I promise you. The second one is obviously consistency. There's actually no secret to anything in life, right? The secret to most side hustles, if you want to study for a degree, it takes you 4 years if you want to do a master's in physics or maths in the UK. If you want to do medicine, it takes you 6 years. So why do you think creating something like blogging, which is a whole skill in itself, being able to write well, explain concepts, market yourself, these are hard skills. There's degrees for these skills. So why do you think that spending a few weeks on it, you're suddenly going to make money from it? It's just not going to work. So just start now, be consistent, and that's all there really is to it. The average channel on YouTube that has 1,000 subscribers is like 140 videos. You have to make 140 videos before you reach 1,000 subscribers. Now, obviously you can do a lot quicker than that if you're tactical, but that's the average. So that also means half channels grow slower than that. So they make more videos than 140 to land to get to 1,000 subscribers. But the money shouldn't be your focus, right? It's in the back of everyone's mind. I can't lie, it is. But the main thing is you should start it because it's something good to do. It develops you as a person. You get that fear. You start being uncomfortable about things. It's good to bring out that part of you.
Beyond just making money, how can these side hustles help your career?
If you blog and write consistently or make videos and speak like this on camera, you're going to develop so many professional skills that will benefit your career. Let me just list them. So first of all, by having a blog, YouTube channel, portfolio, LinkedIn post, you immediately have what most people don't have in the industry. So when you apply for jobs, you already have the edge because chances are people probably know you from the internet. So you get referrals, more luck, more opportunity to come your way. It'll look impressive in your CV because no one else got it. It looks like you're tenacious, you love the profession, you're ready to put work in extra after hours, and all these things play in the mind of someone who's interviewing you. The second thing is you just become technically more sound, right? So by blogging purely on technical articles, my knowledge and theoretical level of a machine learning engineer is very high. Things like YouTube as well. The reason I started YouTube is to improve my public speaking skills. So now I speak a lot better and people tell me that. I'm still not perfect. I still speak a bit quickly. I still say things like a lot, but my public speaking has improved. And again, YouTube is a big asset for my career because anyone who knows me knows I love machine learning. And as much as, I don't know, that probably sounds really sad, but I love machine learning. I love the field. And from that, if I put it on my CV, people think this guy really likes it. He's really interested in it. He does it in his spare time. That's like a big thing. I have had interviews given to me purely because of my YouTube channel. Some guy said to me, we only really interview you because of your YouTube channel. Now, good or bad, don't know. The point is it opened up that door.
Do you think it's possible to eventually replace your full-time income with these? Should that even be the goal?
It is possible, right? There's lots of full-time YouTubers out there. The point is, when you're starting side hustles, you have to really be smart about it and treat it like a business as opposed to purely a side hustle. So there's people I know whose full-time job is kind of creating content and then selling stuff off the back of it. So normally what people do is that they'll create content like this, they'll post it, and then they'll have an offer. And by offer, I mean it'd be like digital products, coaching, SaaS companies, products, or they offer something that's like an extension to their business or to their content. So it's possible to make full-time income from that, and I've seen it happen. But again, you have to be strategic about it. Like, don't focus on the beginning. Like, that's something that comes a few years down the line where you're like, I've got lots of traction here in my audience. Why don't I just sell them something?
Which of these side hustles has been most valuable for you personally, and why?
If you're talking about valuable versus like self-fulfillment versus money-wise. So money-wise, YouTube is probably the platform that makes the most money because you get sponsorships, you get affiliate links, you get the ad revenue. YouTube is probably the best one if you want to make long-term money from it. In terms of fulfillment, it's coaching. So I offer coaching, like one-to-one calls, coaching programs. I have a few clients I work with continuously. That is the best part of it, really. Just helping someone out who you probably never ever meet in your life. Very unlikely to meet in your life. Yet you made this connection through the mutual passion or goal of machine learning, data science, whatever it may be. That connection means I can help them achieve, like, I won't say their dream, but kind of their passion of the job they want to do. And that's really fulfilling. Even though I have like one-to-one calls with some people, and to be honest, a lot of these one-to-one calls, not always me giving them proper like, do this to your CV, take this course. It's more just like a not motivational thing, but more like a mindset change. And just telling like, just focus on this, focus on this. It's not really about the money. It's about just helping people, doing good work and work that, like I said, benefits someone.
I totally agree with Igor here. YouTube has been the most lucrative, though I'm still barely breaking even, but coaching is the most meaningful. I'm just getting started with building apps, so we'll see how that goes.
If I was just going to summarize this whole like side hustle thing when it comes to data science, machine learning, if you want my pure advice, start with one platform, right? Probably best to start with a blogging platform, post it for 6 months, probably longer, stay consistent, and then evaluate. That's literally all I'm going to say to you, and start there. Don't focus on money. Don't focus on actually growing. Just focus on writing stuff you're proud of or stuff you want to learn and document it. That's all you got to do to start. And then eventually things will appear in front of you. And that's when you really think about where you're going. But you take one step at a time. Always focus on the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Don't look at 3 steps ahead. Don't go A to Z, think A to B. That's all there is to it. So I hope this was useful to you. I'm sure Marina will link me in the description below. If you want more information about like these things, I'm happy to speak to you. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, book a one-to-one mentoring call with me if you want to. I'm very responsive to messages, even though it may take me a few days to respond. And once again, thank you, Marina, for having me on your channel. I'm very much looking forward to future collabs like this, and I'm very much looking forward to having you on my channel.
So that wraps it up. Thanks again to Igor for helping me out with this video. Make sure to give his channel a follow. I have it linked in the description below.